Hello guys, in this new video I will be testing out newer resins that are now in the market alongside a known mix. The resin mixes I used on my last video does become expensive and mixing resins can become tiring. There's good videos on YouTube by the name of My Tech Fun channel. He performs industrial tests on resin brands. My research is to find the best resins that can be flexible and be able to survive a drop since cosplayers are prone to drop pieces if they're not secured correctly. Also, any resins can be used to create the perfect detailed cosplay pieces that will be used for casting. Since I'm not able to cast and still learning, I still need to find a resin that can handle unexpected drop. Let's start with flexibility. This mix is a 90% Tenacious and a 10% build, which I used on my other video, which showcased that the resin wasn't flexible when mixing with build. But I was completely wrong. What I discovered accidentally is that the resin has the best flexibility based on temperature. When I originally printed the first cowl, it was during winter and my garage was around 20 degrees cold, resulting on a sturdy cowl. Skip forward to summer and the cowl became super flexible. This mix of Tenacious 90% and 10% build is the best for flexible parts like a Batman cowl or certain cosplay pieces that need more flexibility. This cowl has decent flexibility on normal ambient temperatures. As you can see here, when I apply more heat to the cowl, it becomes more flexible as seen here. I didn't get to do a drop test on these mix due to running out of resins while recording this video. This other mix, which I showcased on my Instagram, is made with 50% blue and 50% Tenacious, which also has flexibility at normal temperatures and can get more flexible when applying heat to the piece. This resin was cured at 20 seconds due to blue and Tenacious having a high curing times for post-curing. Now the last flexible resin is the Phrozen Nylon Green Tough Resin. This resin is only flexible when the parts are under 3 millimeters thick. This part shown is the back piece for the Batman cowl, which is super flexible at normal temperatures. I didn't apply heat to this piece since it was already flexible. This other part I printed for the Batman neck shows how sturdy the resin can be while also being flexible on thinner parts. Now for the drop test. We have the 50-50 blue Tenacious mix. Next we have the 70% build and 30% nylon green that I wanted to test because the frozen nylon was very strong. And for the non-mix, we have the Phrozen Onyx, which they claim to be strong. And lastly, the Frozen Nylon Green. I also printed little Iron Man helmets that are about 2.49 millimeters thick to test how durable the resin can be on smaller light pieces. Since I didn't have enough 50-50 mix for a small helmet, I decided to drop the neck piece above my waist. I survived the second drop, but you can see that it cracked on the lower part of the neck. Next up is the bill frozen mix, which survives a normal drop 3 times. Now the helmet is very lightweight, so it does bounce and it doesn't crack. Next is the Phrozen Onyx. It survives the first drop but cracks on the second drop. I'm not sure if it was because it was overcured. Since I couldn't find any post-curing information on their site, this piece was cured under UV for 5 seconds. And lastly, we have the Frozen Nylon Green, which survives like a champ after 3 drops. Now for the faceplates. Up first we have the build nylon mix, which breaks on the first drop. Looks like this mix doesn't perform well on bigger heavy parts. Next we have the Frozen Onyx, which also breaks on the first drop. I'm sure Frozen will not like this test since they claim it's the best resin for prototyping and minis. Let me know in the comments if the cure time I used was incorrect. And here we have the 50-50 mix, which survives the drop test with no issues. Lastly, the best for last. Here is the nylon green, which survives the drop test without breaking a sweat. Now the hammer test on the surviving faceplates. Up first is the 50-50 mix, which doesn't survive a 1 feet drop with a 5-pound hammer. I wasn't able to get the other angle because I dropped the hammer a bit earlier. And the best for last. Here we have the Frozen Nylon, which survives the 1 feet drop and also survives the 2 feet drop, but breaks on the third drop. This resin by far is the best resin available that I have tried. Phrozen has made the best resin available without mixing to the public. Siraya, if you're listening, we need a new, better resin. The Frozen Onyx is by far the best resin I have tested. It was easy to print compared to the other resins. The only downside of this is that it costs $79 per bottle. Now the Frozen Onyx starts at $69, and it took me about 3 tries to dial the resin on my printer. The 50-50 Siraya mix didn't give me any issues when printing, but it has a strong smell. The cost for this mix is about $115, and you can get almost 2 mixes for the price, but this is still a decent mix for cosplay. And now the 70% build, 30% frozen nylon mix. This mix showed promise for the small helmets, but shattered on larger pieces. Looks like this mix is a no-go, or maybe I need to find a new mixture for this resin. Lastly, the Tenacious 90-10 mix. It didn't give me much issues besides the smell. This mix is perfect for a Batman suit, which I'll be creating once I finish my Iron Man build. For my next video, I'll be putting the nylon resin to the test by printing a lower receiver for an MP shield. Stay tuned. And that's all, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. This helps the channels grow. I also have created a Discord server in order to help resin users with their printers and resin mixes. Links down below.